Now, all right now. It's your buddy Mr. Research. I'm back again. So one of the subscribers wanted me to explain the Drewski video about me saying Muslims will backstab you. So there's three types of Muslims. The ones that go against their imam, the ones that do anything their imam tells them to do, and then there's the black Arab mentality that is willing to unalive other blacks for the imam. Alright, so let me explain what that is. So 23 years old, I got a chance to be in North Africa. I came over from Spain. I landed in Tingis. I learned a lot of African history. All right. I got to see white Arabs pimp slap dark-skinned Africans. I got to see white Arabs spit on dark-skinned Muslims. You're practicing the same religion, and the amount of disrespect I saw toward darker skinned people of the same faith reminded me of what the triple K would do in America. They would belittle the BLK man who was practicing the same religion that they were practicing. All the Mason guys who practice Mason, the YT Mason would belittle the darker skinned Mason. And I didn't see the Muslim as anything different. So we were on a bus going to Moab. The bus, there's a road 24 that leaves out of Morocco and goes toward Moab. It's a long road, and you gotta at that time you had to take a long packed bus to go into Israel territory. There was a guy talking to a woman with her full covering, and the dark-skinned guy was talking to the lighter-skinned Arab woman, and the Arab guy, a white Arab, came out of nowhere, was not involved with the woman, just came out of nowhere and started talking. You know, they talk very rapidly. Start talking to the black guy who was sitting. The white Arab was standing, and the white Arab slapped him. But you could see the black Muslim wanted to strike him back, but quickly the other white Arab bullies surrounded their friend who initiated the problem. And you had the authorities come, and he was explaining that this guy came and was angry because he was talking to the woman, and he struck him. And they let the white Arab go, and they surrounded the dark-skinned Muslim as if he did something wrong. I didn't get to see the rest because by this time I was on the bus trying to get the seat. But clearly, you let the white Arab walk away with his friends, and for you police, I guess that's what they are, you're surrounded this dark-skinned Muslim guy as if he did something wrong. Flash forward, I come back to America. I met my first Nigerian at the Chevron Corporation. I used to work at the Chevron Corporation when I was 24 or 25. And the Nigerian guy was in his full Nigerian apparel. He did not dress American. He was in his full Nigerian apparel. They were walking around the Chevron Corporation very proud. And at the Chevron Corporation, if anybody knows, many of us who worked there would wear these green blazers. So I'm just proving that I did work there. We would wear these green blazers. We were part of the customer service and loss prevention staff. Okay, and everybody had green blazers who worked in that department. And I had a conversation with this guy for a while, because I was impressed that, he was in his full, African appearance. He wasn't trying to cosplay. He could have wore a suit, but he didn't. He wanted them to know who he was. And how we started the conversation, because he had stopped me, he said, I look like somebody from his tribe and so on and so forth. So we had this conversation, and my experience with the white Arabs came up. And he said, yeah, it's very terrible. We have Africans who are so adhered to what the white Arabs want that they start to fight even other Africans. And that's the first time I heard it. Okay, that's before 2000. That's before I was like, wow, really? Wow, that's crazy. So Africans are angry at other Africans. And then I saw and then I would read news about the Chad War, the war in Chad. And I'm like, why are they fighting over grazing rights? But who's funding them all these weapons? Because they clearly don't have that many weapons. And guess what? At the end of that war, long war, Arabs were found to be giving weapons to both sides so they can wipe each other out. This is not about the religion. This is Muslim behavior. Because other Muslims should really be stopping this nonsense. But guess what? Everybody goes along with it. Then we saw what happened when Gaddafi was unfairly unalived. Okay? Hillary Clinton started that. She later told Barack Obama. They had a whole argument about it. It was in the Washington Post, their argument about it, because she did something without Obama's permission, and Obama later had to cover her. Otherwise, it would have caused a Congress war. And this is another reason why she stepped down as Secretary of State. You got to understand, Hillary Clinton created three wars in 4 years. Think about this. Is the Egypt thing was her? Wasn't Obama. She was Secretary of State. She caused that problem. Then she went over to Libya, unalived him, and before she left office, she started that whole Assad must go Assyrian thing. And then later, Barack Obama said Assad must go. But she started the whole thing. All 3 wars were started by Hillary. I got to do a video about that. All 3 wars. Yes, he's the sitting president, but she's the secretary. And at that time, she had more political power than he did. She had the ability. That's why he should have never went to Dianne Feinstein's house. He should have never went to Dianne Feinstein's house 2 a.m. in the morning. They had a whole news coverage about how she lost, and he flew out to San Francisco to meet with her at Dianne Feinstein's house because she's up there crying. It was my turn. It was my turn. That's what all we heard in the Bay Area. All these darn "it was my turn" tears. But she went out there to try to sabotage as much as she could. She's a very racist person. She's a Ku Klux type of person. Her favorite congressman was a Grand Wizard of Triple K. That's not me making that up. That's her saying out of her mouth. Senator Byrd was her favorite person of all time. So Hillary is not. Hillary is the arbiter of DEATH. She's the arbiter of it. I'm not saying that because she's a woman. I'm saying that because her and Debbie Wasserman Schultz are shiesty beyond belief. Beyond belief. But let's get back to the white Arab. So once Gaddafi was removed, what happened next? The white Arabs start putting guns on the dark-skinned Libyans. And I'm like, whoa, y'all practice the same religion. But then I thought, when I was 23, hey, ain't nothing changed. It just seems like sometimes white Arabs created a religion just to take land away from the Africans. Let me say it one more time. It comes across to me as if white Arabs, because this religion did not exist before the birth of Muhammad. Muhammad was born in 570. This religion started spreading in 610 with the 610 BC war. All these Africans were used to fight other Africans, but then notice this. There's never been a dark skin in the royal family. They can only make general. They can only be soldiers or wardens of a region. But they can never ascend into the royal family. Little known fact, Ottoman Empire broke up. They were already dominating the world. Islam had won. But they didn't want dark skins. This is Turkey saying this. They didn't want dark skins marrying or getting positions of high authority. That's why they just, at the height of their success, just broke up. So, when I say that Muslims will always backstab dark skins, I have not my anecdotal evidence. I have documented proof that they create these wars. They're creating the war in Sudan. Everywhere they go, they're going to create a war here in America. I guarantee it. I guarantee it. I may not be here when it happens, but I guarantee. Because they're just producing babies. and they're going into black spaces trying to get more businesses, trying to get more land. In a minute, they're going to try to push their ideology onto that land. And notice this, in Texas, in Michigan, everywhere they've already secured rights and been in some political power, they're now telling dark skins that they can't come over there. Isn't that strange? Some of the same people who practice the same religion are not allowed in some of the taxpayer land that they have. It's the weirdest thing. It's the weirdest thing. It's taxpayer land. You should be able to walk on it. It's a park. It's nope. This for Muslims only. Okay, he's Muslim. Well, he can't come on my brother. What? It's so inconsistent, man. And the way that 50% of them try to attack Farrakhan, it's going to be a serious battle. Because one thing BLK people are not going to tolerate is white Arabs saying anything against the FOI or the NOI. We're not going to allow that. The Christians are not, the black Christians are not going to allow it. The black 7-day Adventists are not. We don't even practice that religion with Farrakhan, but we are not going to let that happen. The black Baptists won't let it happen. The black Catholics won't. But I see it coming, because white Arabs are peaceful 1 minute, and then when they get power, when they get land, they are extremely disrespectful towards skin color. The original racism, history shows, the original racism was the white Arab doing it against the dark-skinned Muslim. You can't make this up. What was the 610 war? They attacked the Nubians. Nubians didn't do nothing to them. They crossed the water to attack the Nubians. Let me say it one more time. Nubians did nothing to them. They attacked the water. They crossed the water to attack the Nubians. And they used very dumb Muslim soldiers to unalive themselves for the religion, while it's just a military tactic. Now, are there 40% or 30% of those white Arabs who are peaceful and have none of this mindset? Yes, I will agree. But the vast majority, when I look at the royal family and I see not one dark skin marrying no other white Arab, I see them playing the RACE card. You can believe what you want to believe. The evidence shows they are inconsistent on how they approach people who practice the same religion who have dark skin. It's inconsistent. And on Palm Sunday in Nigeria, 106 dark Christians got unalived by dark Muslims. What's the purpose? You can't live in harmony? So, yeah, look, the YT man here in America is not as bad as the white Arab. Let me say it again. The Ku Klux is not as bad as the white Arab. I know that sounds bad, but I'm keeping it 100. The Trumps are not as bad as the white Arab. The white Arab does worse than hanging, worse than torches. The white Arab is terrible because he manipulates the mind of the dark Muslim and makes the dark Muslim a slave to the white Arab using religion. Can't make it up. But if you disagree, let's hear it in the comment section. Don't speak to something I actually said, quote what I actually said, and disagree with it. Let's get in the conversation about it. But this is a response to the subscriber that wanted me to break down why that is. Again, 30-40% of them are not harmful and have, but then that 60%, Jesus Christ, that 60% is real. You got to understand, Mahmoud Abdul Aful, you know him as Myron Gaines. His real name is Mahmoud Abdul Aful. That dude is a white Arab. Makes my point right there. Peace.